Oh, wow, okay.
How different was this experience than the combine?
It wasn't. I mean, it was less nerve-wracking. I felt like the combine. I was definitely a little bit more nervous for it, and I did a lot more at the combine. So, here it was just trying to fine-tune, showing that I can, get to the deep middle, get off the hashes, get to the fade balls in each corner, and just pretty much try to just put the cherry on the top.
Are you still doing some linebacker work here?
Not as much. The linebacker thing was more so a need for the university. But I'm just a DB who can play in the box.
What do you tell teams now that question how you could do it safely?
Well, I'm sorry. Can you?
Oh, what do you tell teams now that maybe question what you could do as a defensive back since you played linebacker and were so many?
Those are all fair questions because I don't have much tape at safety. But at the end of the day, some reasonings for me not being able to play safety, are mind blowing. I feel as though, if I'm a punt returner, I can track the ball. It's just going up and getting it at the highest point instead of letting it, fall into the breadbasket. The one interception thing, that's a fair question. I could have had maybe 4 at most. One was due to bad positioning, didn't get my head around fast. The one I dropped against Northwestern and JD caught one the next play, took it to the house. And then the one I could have had one in Utah, my first game back from injury against the tight end. Didn't get my head around, and it was a pass interference call. So it was just about just relaxing, don't panic when the ball is in the air, and just trust your technique, technique is something I'm definitely honing in on now. And, but those are all fair questions, man. At the end of the day, I'm an athlete and I'm a ball player. Once I only need to see something one time, to be able to do it, and the rest is just trusting your technique and honing in on your skill. I'm excited. I get to, work on my technique now, and I bounce around a lot from Indy to Indy and really just learn the position and be a technician of the position. So those are all fair questions and criticism. But at the end of the day, some of the questioning, is mind blowing to me. But the not having this much tape and one interception thing, those are all fair, things that they can criticize, and I take those on the chin.
We're gonna follow up on that. Did you panic sometimes when the ball was in the air?
My first year back, yeah, definitely. And then last year I had to play more in the box. So, but my first year back, yeah, I wanted to, my knee was clicking a little bit. I didn't feel as fast as I, normally did, and it's just, you miss a year of football, you don't really know what that does to you until you go back out there, So at the end of the day, man, I'm at a point where I'm getting better. I'm finally, starting to perfect the craft. And, some coaches see me, as a safety, and they love me. Some don't, and to each his own. I'm just a guy who's gonna go out there and I'm a ball. All I need is the opportunity. Whenever the opportunity comes, it comes. But I'm not gonna piss my opportunity away.
What makes you special at the next level? I mean, because in the NFL, you're probably not going to play as many positions as you were able to here. So, what makes you special at the next level?
I just think my why. My love for the game. Everyone says they love the game, but everyone doesn't really love the game. My coachability and how smart I am both on and off the field. I only need to see things a couple times to have it down pat and to apply it to my game. And I think that's gonna carry a long way. Because at the next level, everyone's fast, everyone's strong, everyone's big. Can get the edge in the film room, can get the edge on just studying route concepts, combinations, down the distances, things like that. So that's where I see myself really being a great tool for being out there just to be able to feel generally. I played offense too, so I'm very offensive savvy as well. And I think that definitely helps me on the defensive side of the ball.
Jabrill, as this gets closer to the end date, which is the draft, how exciting does it start to feel? Can you let yourself get caught up in that?
I'm just at a place where I don't want to psych myself out or build up too much anxiety. In my eyes, I definitely I left it out there all on the field. I think if they see the tape, they'll see that. I don't have a lot of tape at safety, but as scouts, I feel as though you should see tendencies and traits certain guys have. I feel as though I have all the intangibles, everything I don't have, I can be coached up in. So that's just where my mind is at. I don't feed into any of the negativity or the positivity. I just stay 10 toes down. Just let the cards fall in.
What is the one thing you think that you still need to get better at as a safety?
I pretty much take everything. You're never done improving. That's just my mindset. But if it's, are you meaning essentials? Some essentials that I think I need to definitely improve on is, being a little more fluid. That comes with repetition. I can get off the hash. I can play the deep middle. I can fill the lane. It's just about improving all those things. But I definitely think fluidity. Being in the box a year, not opening up as much, running as much with receivers. That definitely, played a huge role. But Matt Clark out there, San Diego and LA, he did a great job with me getting right. Getting my hips back, to where they needed to be. Now it's just, honing in on it and taking it to the next level.
Well, who did you meet with? Who have you met with today? Who did you meet with last night? What visits did you have set up?
Man, so many I can't even name. But the teams that I met with today, what do you call a meet? Like sit down coaches already have you take a test?
Like who did you actually sit down and have conversations with?
Well, today it was the Buccaneers. Yesterday it was the Saints and the Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Do you have any visits set up already?
Yes, I cannot tell you those off the top of my head, but I have at least 23. I can't tell you off the top of my head. But.
Drew, what do you hear? What do you think when you hear people say we can slip out of the first round because teams don't know what to do with them? That kind of reasoning. What does that mean to you?
Like I said, man, I don't really pay attention to the positivity or the negativity. I feel as though whatever team gets me is going to be a steal. I don't really care about whether they draft experts or things like that. What they have to say. My only concern is with these GMs and head coaches think about me. And I just need the opportunity. That's it. It is what it is. I didn't play safety, but I'm going to be the safety. So whatever ramifications stem from that, it is what it is. I'm just out there I'm gonna prove myself.
Have you had any team tell you Jabrill, we don't know what to do with you?
No,
I actually
haven't had any teams like that. I've only had one team tell me they want me to play linebacker. I had one team tell me that they think I should play offense, but other than that, the majority has been your safety. We just want to see if we can do this because we don't have that much fun doing it. But you know you can track the ball because you're a punch. It's just about going up the high point and catching. Reading the quarterback shoulder. The league. They're very smarter and more deceptive with who they're looking at, who they're intending to throw the ball to. Just things like that, man. I never went into a meeting room and said we don't know what to do. Right. That's the scouts. Well, not scouts, but the draft experts. Those guys.
What team told you should be a linebacker, and what team told you should play offense?
Man, I can't tell you that at the top of my head. I just, my thing is I take in information, but I'm at the combine. There was so much going on. It's hard to pinpoint a name to the feedback, but the feedback I'll make sure I soak in.
When you hear a team say that one of those two things, are you like, all right, well, that team's clearly not looking at me?
Not really. I feel like sometimes it's more mind games than anything. So you just got to stay true to your guns. You know who you are better than anyone. It's just about showing those guys who you are. That's both on the field and off the field. So, I don't beat myself up about anything. Because I know what kind of player I am, and I know what kind of player I'm going to be because I'm going to put in the work. As far as being, blessed by the Lord, with my athleticism and all the traits here. So I don't really beat myself up about that, man. That's just more of the public talking. I guess it's a hot topic. I don't know, but my thing is just enjoy the process. Stay level-headed and let the cards fall where they may.
Did you say you'll be a steal?
Yeah.
In what sense? How would you be
I just feel as though a lot of people downplaying me as a football player because what have I heard? I don't have a true position. But in a sense, I was just a guy doing whatever I can to help the team win, whatever my coach asked me. And if I'm getting punished because of that, then so be it. I would do it all over again if I had to. I'm winning. And that's what I had to do to win. That's what I had to do. I didn't think it affected my draft stock or anything. My thing was just whatever they ask you to do, just do it to the best of your ability. 110 miles an hour. Good things happen. You're gonna make some mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. But making mistakes 100 miles an hour. So I don't really buy all the I've constantly heard the jack of all trades, master of none thing. You can believe that. We're gonna see. Everyone has to play on Sundays, but not everyone has to play. But everyone has to show themselves to play on Sundays. So
Does that annoy you when people say that?
not really. It kind of just makes me smirk a little bit because they don't know. But I guess it just is what it is. I'm not really happy with myself like that.
People love to look at the numbers with these types of things, and the numbers sometimes be overblown. Like you said, I mean, you can take something and hear it once and do it.
Yeah.
Not every guy can do that. So can these events be a little bit overhyped in some regard?
I mean, me speaking personally, I think they just want to see how we move in space, how fluid we are. And then, I just think they time it just to, make it a competition. I don't see how, some of the drills that we do, translate over to the field. I just think they just want to see how tight your hips are, how tight your ankles are, things like that. Do you have a good low center of gravity? Just things like that. But, I definitely think they help. I feel as though for some guys, they don't really matter because they see the tape and, things like that. But, I don't really beat myself up about it, man. I'll tell you, I'm just laid back, enjoying the process, doing what I have to do, because it's a blessing to be in this position. So, I take it as such, and I'm going to continue to take it as such.
Jabrill,
Have you been invited to the draft? Have you been invited to the draft the first round?
I have no idea.
Would you go if you were invited?
I'm having a little draft party with my family.
Okay. Back home?
Yep.
Did you run today?
I did.
You didn't run today?
Jabrill, other than your athleticism, obviously they know about it, but what are some of the feedback that you've gotten through some of these meetings?
They didn't realize how smart I was, how football savvy, and I could speak football. I like to say I could be a GA, coach. I know what I'm supposed to do. It's just about going out there and doing it every time, and I think that's where, the great professionals separate themselves because they put the work in to go out there and do it every single time, But, I think that's the main thing I took away from it. They just really didn't realize how smart and, how much football I know and how I can talk football and speak their terminology. They install like a base defense, and then I just basically repeat what they said to me after seeing it maybe a couple times, and they're pretty shocked by that. Well, some are pretty shocked by it, but just that's probably the main thing that I can think of that really stood out the most.
You say that adds. I mean, we all know you're a great athlete, but having that intelligence behind it, does that kind of put a premium on you?
I mean, I think, personally speaking, that's where I separate myself a lot. I'm not the fastest, biggest, or the strongest, but I'm smarter than a lot, and I'll put my pride in that rather than put my pride, in other places. I'm gonna get the edge by knowing the game, knowing down the distances, knowing their favorite route concepts, knowing his release, what kind of releases he do to get where he needs to be, knowing how he wants to manipulate the defender, just things like that. That's what I pride myself on, things that can give me the extra edge.
Is there any advice that you would give to Josh Metellus or maybe a Kaliki Hudson about making that move to that position?
Josh and Leak, they're good, man. They've been good, It's just I wouldn't let them take my spot. Those guys push me to be the the best viper, linebacker, whatever you guys want to call it, that I can be. But those guys would be great. Coach Brown, he's an excellent coach. Coach Partridge is going to make sure those guys are ready to go.
What's the most difficult thing for them as far as making the move from safety to linebacker?
Well, knowing that you won't be playing the deep half as much. You're a little closer to the linemen, so you're not gonna have to deal with those big guys. And just really learning run fits from being maybe 5 yards from the ball as opposed to 12. So you can see everything, but it's not everything like you can see as a safety. So I guess that'll be different. And covering tight ends, they should be good with that because they cover the quick slots. But covering tight ends, some can be very crafty, like Jake Butt. He's very crafty. He knows he's not the fastest guy, but his routes are very sharp, crisp, and he uses his body. And he's a big, tall, long guy. So, the target is there. So he's gotta learn just to, play through the hands a little better. When you can slip, cut underneath, and just things like that. But it'll make him a better player because at the end of the day, there are safeties who can just play in the box unless Leak puts on 20 more pounds because he's already a ball of muscle. But other than that, I think those guys will be just fine.
You still want to return kicks?
I do.